Welcome back, adventurers. Today we're diving into the fiery depths of one of the most compelling characters in Avatar: The Last Airbender, Prince Zuko. Oh, Zuko, with his brooding eyes and that iconic scar. He's literally a walking contradiction of angst and honor. Honor. His journey from an exiled prince to a beloved hero is nothing short of epic, so let's break it down, shall we? First off, Zuko's backstory reads like a Shakespearean drama. Banished by his own father, the Fire Lord, he's on a quest to capture the Avatar to regain his lost honor. But oh, the emotional roller coaster we're in for. He's introduced to us as a villain. He's angsty and he's driven and strong, but through the eyes of Uncle Iroh, we see just a little bit more. Especially in Book 1, Episode 12, The Storm, it's where we get our first real deep dive into the scars, both literal and metaphorical, that Zuko carries with him. Iroh tells the story of Zuko's scars and his banishment. We see a softer person back then, and it's because of this and his disagreeing with his father during a war council that Zuko is forced to fight his father in an Agni Kai as a child and is ultimately banished with the physical scars to carry that shame with him. What makes Zuko so compelling is not his relentless pursuit of Aang, it's his inner conflict, and eventually his heartwarming redemption. Zuko's growth is a masterclass in storytelling, and it's because of the people around him. Uncle Iroh is the tea-loving sage who is also mysteriously referred to as the Dragon of the West many times, which hints at a powerful and once respected officer. But Iroh offers not just wisdom, but also dad jokes, and consistently serves as Zuko's moral compass. And it's because of Iroh and how much we love that man that we see hope for Zuko, because why would Iroh stick around if there wasn't hope for him? Iroh is there to pick Zuko up in those moments where he makes the worst mistakes. And then there's Aang, who is the embodiment of the path that Zuko could take towards the light and forgiveness, but consistently turns away from throughout the series because of his misplaced love for his father. Aang represents the childlike life that Zuko never really got, and also serves as a reminder of Zuko's burden, at least in the eyes of his father. And what makes it worse for him is that Aang saved his life at the North Pole when Zuko failed his mission to take him. And yet we get glimpses of the real Zuko when he wears the mask of the Blue Spirit. He saves Aang, and in many ways that mask is the real Zuko. But when Zuko is most conflicted, he's trying to walk a new life with Iroh, stealing food to survive, but he can't let go of what he wants most, his old life and his father's respect. So he makes the choice to walk alone. But also because he sees that Iroh is pushing him to be a better person, and it scares Zuko. He leaves Iroh to do some soul searching, and Iroh doesn't stop him. Instead, Iroh sees the path before Zuko and lets him go. Now, it's in Book 2, Episode 7, Zuko Alone, that gives us a poignant look into Zuko's soul, where he is isolated and introspective, revealing the depth of his internal struggle. We see him as a wanderer and a warrior, but also a kind soul when he helps a family that is ultimately a family of the enemy, the Earth Nation. And what does he get in return? He gets fear, nasty looks, and by the end of it, we feel bad for him. And we can't forget Azula, the sister from the deepest circle of sibling rivalry hell, pushing Zuko towards his breaking point and beyond. Zuko and Azula have the same goal. They both want to make their father proud, but they can't work together. And probably part of it is because Zuko knows deep down that he's not doing the right thing, so he struggles. In Book 2, Episode 8, Azula and Zuko both fight to capture Aang, and in the end, he reunites with Iroh after Iroh is attacked by Azula. Iroh leads him on a journey of understanding the elements. He teaches him about creating lightning. He teaches him about the connection that all the elements have in the world, and this is the first real steps that Zuko is taking towards understanding himself and his place in the world. This is his first real turning point. It's also worth noting that this is when Aang is also struggling with earthbending, mirroring their characters growing together. Zuko even says that all of this four elements talk sounds like Avatar stuff, and he's beginning to learn. Now, this is when we think Zuko is finally going to do the right thing, when he not only saves Appa, but in the heart of Ba Sing Se, he has a heart-to-heart with Katara. We get that amazing moment when Iroh scolds him when he discovers him as the Blue Spirit, and he furiously asks him, "What do you want?" We think there's a chance for him to finally have some closure, but his complex dynamics with his sister reaches a fever pitch in Book 2, Episode 20, The Crossroads of Destiny, where Zuko's choices impact not just his destiny, but really the fate of the world. He chooses to betray his uncle, betray Katara, all because his sister's words poisoned his mind. Now, at this point, everybody thinks the Avatar is dead. At this point, he goes home a hero, and yet is angrier than ever. He knows what he did is wrong, and worst of all, he's disappointed the only person that ever cared for him, the only father figure he ever had, Iroh. Zuko's internal conflict is the secret sauce that makes him so relatable, because we all understand that. He's torn between the life he's been told to desire and the one he knows is right. It's like choosing between eating a salad or devouring a cake, except with more existential angst and less frosting. He can't get over his own self-loathing, and he starts to do some digging. This is when he learns the truth of his heritage, and he learns that his mother was actually the granddaughter of Avatar Roku. So not only is Zuko related to the ancient Avatar, he's also related to the one that ended the Avatar, Sozin. So he has within him the dark and the light. He is the imbalance of the world, and he also has the power to change it and make right his family's wrongs. Even with the girl of his dreams, he can't be happy. And of course we have the tropey anime beach scene that every anime or show has to have. He leaves when he finally comes to terms with what he needs to do. His destiny is not to end the Avatar, but help them. So this is where his redemption arc really truly shines. In Book 3, Episode 11, The Day of Black Sun, Zuko finally does the impossible. He faces his father for the second time, this time as a man. His father dishonorably attacks him, only to have Zuko take his uncle's teachings and redirect that power right back at his father. He faces his father, his fears, and he wins. Now, the real turning point happens in the Western Air Temple, which is Book 3, Episode 12. Zuko attempts to make amends and choose a new path, and we can't help but feel bad for Zuko because we see his struggle and his social awkwardness in trying to get Team Avatar to trust him, and who can blame them? After everything that he's done, how could they possibly trust him? But Aang wisely sees this as part of his journey as the Avatar, and they take him in even if they don't fully trust him. Now, this conflict within Zuko comes to a head in Book 3, Episode 13, The Firebending Masters, where Zuko learns the true meaning of firebending, symbolizing his personal growth and his shift in perspective. And he also learns where his uncle learned the secret to his powerful firebending from the original firebenders themselves. Zuko and Aang master firebending together, solidifying the reconnection of Zuko's lineage with the Avatar, the mending of that break that happened so many years ago. At this point, Zuko is part of the gang. He even helps Sokka save his love from the boiling rock, and he helps Katara with her revenge, which she ultimately decides not to go through with. Now, at the end of the story, Zuko reunites with Iroh, and in the darkest moment, right before Aang takes on the Fire Lord, Iroh tells him how proud he is for discovering his own way. And in this moment, Zuko gets that fatherly love he always wanted and never knew was right in front of him the whole time. Now, in the end, Zuko learns that fire is not only power, but it's also life. His legacy is a testament to the power of growth and forgiveness and that relentless pursuit of what is right. He teaches us that it's never too late to change and that the path to redemption, while fraught with challenges, is always worth walking. I hope you enjoyed this character study of one of my absolute favorite characters. Zuko goes from villain to hero, and in a way that we can all understand because we know what it's like to make mistakes. So let me know in the comments below what your favorite character redemption is. And now you know the drill, it's time for some quick shoutouts. Lena says, "What's that little kitty doing in the corner of the screen?" Well, he's peering into your soul. Detravents commented, "I don't remember there being a Displacer kitten in the Atlantis movie. Well, were you even watching?" Spine Sauce says, "Little man is just basking in the campfire's warmth. Love the video as always." Of course he's basking. Who doesn't love a good campfire? Thank you so much. I really appreciate the love. Now, if you were paying attention in this video, leave your comment with the timestamp of where you saw Tobias, and maybe you'll be lucky enough to get shouted out in the next video. And thank you so much for watching. As always, forge on, my friends, and we'll see you next time, adventurers.